Okay, I'm DrYasapa. Most of you know that. If you're new, I'm DrYasapa from Zion Law School, okay? Welcome to another presentation of the Gospels and the Zodiac, all right? Another presentation of the Gospels and the Zodiac. I think I picked a bad place. Let me move this over a little bit. Try to get this sign out of the window. Hold on. All right. See, how is that? Okay, so welcome. Let's do it. We're on page 152. Okay, the Gospels and the Zodiac. The Gospels and the Zodiac, the secret truth about J.C. the Christ figure by the Reverend Bill Darrell-El. All right. So you can almost best believe that this author is a Freemason, or Freemason and something else, maybe Knights Templar, or some other secret societies. You can be sure of that, okay? 99% of all of these religious leaders, pastors, reverends, etc., are secret society members. Okay, so this is the keys to their power. The religion is the keys to their power, okay? All right, so let's begin, y'all. Let people know we are here. So we are, again, this is Libra in the Gospels, okay? We're on Libra in the Gospels. The Libra section of the Gospel of Mark is found at Mark chapter 10, verse 1 through 31, okay? Y'all make sure y'all go back and watch all of the videos on Libra, okay? And so far, you'll take note that Libra is different from the other zodiac signs in terms of what the author has written. In terms of what the author has written in this book. So let's backtrack. So if you go back and you download The Devil's Pulpit by the Reverend Robert Taylor, download that. Research, go read in there the section about the Knights Templars. The Knights Templars are responsible for law, right? Law. That's what they deal with, law and finance. So you can see Libra having to do with what? Balance and justice. Libra being in the fall equinox. You can see Knights Templar all over this. Okay, y'all see the scales, the balance scales. We went over this, I think, in Libra in the Gospels, number 3, 2, 3, something like that. But I explained this image, all right? But for now, the scales, these represents justice. The Knights Templars are involved, or supposed to be, right? But they corrupted it. Justice. And what is that? The sword. Y'all see that? Knights Templar. Whenever you see a image of Knights Templars, don't you see a sword? Right? You see them with the cross. Here we see a cross. Right? So this is the equinoxes. This is the solstices. This is the so this is justice. So that's grace, right? Balanced justice. That's grace. So this is the autumn equinox, the fall equinox. Over here is the sword, so you already know this is the covenant of grace, the covenant of labor rather, right? Covenant of labor, okay? Toil, work, effort, extended to war. The autumn equinox, the covenant of grace. That's where you have everything you need, all your needs are satisfied. Life at this time is only about enjoying life, right? Enjoying life right here. Okay, over here in the covenant of work is where you need to work, toil, fight to survive. Okay, fight to get the soil properly prepared. There you have a sword. And again, solstices, summer solstice, winter solstice, spring equinox, fall equinox. And y'all see the clouds? Okay, you see, maybe you can even extend this to what? Christ coming back on the clouds. Why? Why is that? Well, Christ does say he's going to come back on a cloud, doesn't he? But he comes back every morning at about 5:30, 5:45 in the morning. Every day the sun rises, right? The sun rises. And it's in the clouds, right? So he comes back once a year in the cloud, every day on the clouds. Okay, so y'all who are waiting for JC, the Christ figure, to come back to crack the clouds, well, he's been coming back. It's all astrological, meaning it's all nature. So y'all see this? So Libra, okay, so you should see and smell the Knights Templars all over this. This is the cross that the Knights Templar wear, the crown of thorns, right? The crown that the Knights Templar wear, the cross, okay, and the sword. Everybody see that? And what did they say? What did they say? They said they're coming to execute justice. What justice? The justice of your demise. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 through 68. Y'all see that? Contract was executed and is still being implemented on y'all until y'all return to nature, until you start again to follow all of the Most High's instructions, that is his commandments, which are natural law. I hope everybody sees that. Okay? Hold on. I hope it's clear as day. Y'all see the crown on the statue's head? This is the crown of thorns, representing the sun rays. Representing the sun rays. The crown of thorns representing the sun rays, okay? A crown. There's where you get the Knights Templar's crown and cross and their sword. And this is JC, the Christ figure, by extension, coming back on the clouds to do what? Execute justice. All right? Okay, so we're on page 52. Yes, 52. Okay, we're on page 52, the second paragraph down. Okay, let me read this comment. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, half the time. Okay, watch the Collapse podcast. What book is this? Good to see you, Doctor. Good to see you too. Good to see you too. This is the Gospel and the Zodiac, y'all. The Secret Truth About JC, the Christ Figure, by the Reverend Bill Darrell-El. The link to the free PDF is in the description area of the video, along with the Devil's Pulpit, with also I think it's called Volanese, the Ruins of Nations, or something like that. Okay. So let's get started, yo. Oh, by the way, this statue that we just looked at, that image, okay, this is on page 146, figure 18, justice carrying the Libran scales above the Old Bailey in London. All right? So there's your citation. Okay, page 152. Let's get going, y'all. When JC told the rich young man to give his wealth to the poor, he was not thinking so much about the material advantage of the poor. Okay, so y'all should already be suspicious when y'all hear that. As about the spiritual advantages to the man himself. This is such a crock. Y'all try to look at this with an open mind, or even look at it from an adversarial point of view, from a position not as a believer but as a doubter. Okay, are you able, I know you have the capacity to do this, but are you able to look at this intellectually from the point of view of a non-believer? Can you do that? Or are you blinded or afraid? You have the capacity to do it. That's without a doubt. You've got the capacity to do it. See, now if you look at this, if you look at it from a different point of view, you'll most certainly get a different answer, right? Just like if you were standing in one place in a building, you look over, you see things from a certain point of view. If you move to another place, you're going to see something else that you didn't see in the other place you're standing, right? So I'm asking you to do the same thing, but just with your mind. Listen to this again. When JC told the rich young man to give his wealth to the poor, he was not thinking so much about the material advantage to the poor. First of all, how does the author know this? And how does the academic, how do the scholars know this? And even the theologians, how do they know this? That's their opinion. Y'all see it? Their opinion. Okay? He wasn't thinking about the advantage to the poor. Now, he wasn't thinking about the advantage to the poor. Okay? No, but rather, those are my own words, JC was thinking about the spiritual advantages to the man himself. Y'all don't see that that's a hustle? Okay, why? Okay, in the first instance, is the church asking people to give their wealth to the poor? Or are these religious organizations, Hebrew Israelites included, asking you to give your wealth to them in the form of a tithe, a donation to whatever kind of projects they have regularly, every month? Right? I've even heard of cases where people who were not able to give their tithe, the church actually reported them to the IRS so that they could not claim. So that if they claimed it, they would get caught. Y'all hear me? Or they put you on blast if you're not able to pay it. Okay, so for all of those who English may not be your first language, to put someone on blast means they will confront you in front of other people. They'll ask you about it in a way that's embarrassing or humiliating in front of other people, or post it so that everybody can see it. Okay? Second point, are these institutions, once they get your wealth, are they giving it to the poor? All of it, or substantially most of it? No, absolutely not. Hence we see this rationale. to justify that. JC's not thinking so much about the material advantage to the poor. In other words, you give that wealth, it's not so much about helping poor people. Okay, now that justifies when you give them the wealth, the theologians, when you give them the wealth and they don't give it to the poor, because it's really not about the material advantage of the poor. Now, how are the poor going to have a material advantage? Y'all see that? You see the wording, the selecting of words, or the selection of words, material advantage? There's no advantage that the poor are going to get. Y'all see that? But that takes the sting out of it. That makes it seem like the poor are getting an advantage. No, they're not. They're not. They're still going to be poor. Okay? There's no advantage. Okay? But the issue is about your spirituality. So don't worry about what that wealth is going to be used for. That's not the issue. The issue is your spiritual advantage. Well, what the hell does that mean? How is that defined? How are you defining spiritual advantage? Y'all see what I'm saying? Okay, how can I measure that? Am I losing or am I winning? How do I measure it? But most of us are not educated enough to even think about how to measure it, or even to determine if you're winning in that transaction or losing. Or you've been conditioned to think that if you lose, that's okay. Why? Because you're supposed to lose. That's the mindset of the curses, y'all. We need to get out of that. Okay? In losing his living, y'all got that? In losing his living, he would find his life. Wow. What a mind F. In losing your inheritance, you find life. Complete contradiction of the words spoken by Moses that y'all call the Mosaic covenant. Completely in opposition to that. In losing his living, he would find his life. The Mosaic covenant says, the contract says, if you lose your living, that's because you did not follow the Most High's instructions, and therefore you're going to be what? Sick, poor, afraid, doubting whether you're going to live the next day, make it to see the next day, and put in bondage. So did you gain your life, as this text says? Absolutely not. Do y'all see the scam here? Do you see how this flies right in the face, how it totally, completely contradicts Moses' words, the covenant? There would follow, says Annie Besant, quote, the joyous discovery that the life thus won is one for all. Not for the separated self, that the abandoning of the separated self has meant the realization of the capital S self in man. Well, what does that mean? Another ambiguous, flowery set of words that has really no meaning. And in opposition to the Mosaic contract. And that the resignation of the limit, which alone seemed to make life possible, has meant the pouring out into myriad forms and undreamed vividness and fullness. That's taken from Besant pages 149 and 150. What did that mean? That means whatever you think it means. Okay? And it sounds really good, doesn't it? So poetic, so flowery, so sweet. So they're playing off of a man and woman's desire to do good and to be a good person. Y'all see that? And walking you right into the curses. Walking you right into the curses. Why? Because you're trying to get something that, one, doesn't belong to you. What belongs to you is the inheritance. May I have Sincha? Lemonade? She doesn't speak English. Lemonade, please. Lemonade? Yes. No, go, wait, go. I'll wait. She doesn't speak English, so she doesn't have a clue what I'm talking about. And I don't speak Vietnamese. Okay. All right, y'all. So they're using pleasant, flowery words to talk you right up out of your nationality, right up out of your birthright. Now remember, birthright, if you condense that or contract it, that's where you get rights from. Therefore, I'll show you the logic with this. Therefore, if you're not Genesis chapter 1, if you're not a chapter 2 rather, scratch that. I meant to say if you are not Genesis chapter 2. If you're not a Genesis chapter 2 more, that means in autochthonous man or woman, you have no birthright. If you have no birthright, you have no rights. Therefore, you must be given rights. Watch the collapse says, LOL, you are the man, Yasapa. This is great stream. Good night, buddy, from Colorado. I love falling asleep to your... Hey, thanks a lot. Let me see if I can get the rest of that up there. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Really, really appreciate that. Let me see if it'll come up. Y'all know when I click on my comment button, the comments, okay, it says, hopefully we can interview soon. I emailed you. Shalom and Islam, much appreciated, much appreciated. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, y'all. So, where was I? Where was I? Forgot where I was. But anyway, good night. I don't remember what I was saying, but let's continue. Let's continue. Let's read the footnote, okay? The footnote reads, Annie Besant comments on the story of the rich young man. Okay, so now let's read her comments. This text has been variously explained away. Y'all got that? The text has been explained away many times using many different explanations. That's what she just said. It being obviously impossible to take it in its surface meaning that a rich man cannot enter a post-mortem state of happiness, right? That's absolutely ridiculous. We see many rich people who are very happy, right? Into that state, the rich man may enter as well as the poor, and the universal practice of Christians shows that they do not, for one moment, believe that riches impair or imperil their happiness after death. Okay, so nobody believes this crap. But if the real meaning of the kingdom of heaven be taken, we have the expression of a simple and direct fact. For the knowledge of capital G-O-D, which is eternal life. Y'all got that? For the knowledge of capital G-O-D is eternal life. That's John chapter 17:3. Cannot be gained till everything earthly is surrendered. And here's the robbery again. Here is the nationality again. Everything earthly, folks, scholars, is your inheritance, your bloodline. That's your Genesis chapter 2 status. Cannot be learned until everything has been sacrificed. Y'all see that? All of this is meant to put you in a state of mind where you are finally willing to give up all of your inheritance. You give it up, what are they going to do now? Put you in a chattel status, a bondage status, a slave status, and then escheat you, fix it so that you become ignorant. Instead of education, you get indoctrination. Instead of a knowledge of nature, you get religion. A belief system of your choice. McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, White Castle, KFC, etc. And ceremony. Okay? Holy water and incense. That's what you get. To feel good. In exchange for your tangible, physical wealth. Okay? Let's continue. All of this is meant to make you willingly give it up and to make you have a hatred or a guilt trip about wealth. Being wealthy and living the easy life. That's what it's all meant to do, so that they can take it and take your position. Trading places. Let's continue. The man must give up not only earthly wealth. Remember, earthly wealth is passed from one generation to the other. It's not what you earn in your lifetime. When you return to nature, in fact, when you return to nature, natural law, everything is given to you up front, y'all. You're born with it. All you need to do is maintain it. And nobody can take it from you. They cannot take your land. Your land cannot be bought. Now you can lease out your harvest, and you're going to get that back, right? When the time comes. There's a specific number of years. So nobody ever gets poor permanently. You heard? And what you earn during the time that you want to work, well, that's great. But the vast majority, oh, thank you so much. Gamma. But the vast majority of your wealth comes to you as an inheritance. All right? So they're telling you to give that up and don't associate any value to it, and you should feel guilty about it. And you cannot be a spiritual man or be in union with Christ until you sacrifice it all. And don't you worry about what's going to be done with that wealth, because what's done with it is not important. What's important is your spiritual health. Don't ask no questions about the money. What a hustle. Y'all know I was involved, very religious for about 30 plus years, y'all. 30 plus years. So I'm not laughing at you. If I'm laughing at anybody, I'm laughing at myself. Right? And I'm so happy I'm out of it. Okay, let me repeat this foolishness. The man must give up not only his earthly wealth, that's your inheritance, which includes your nationality, your status, your ability to pass wealth to your kinfolk and your youngins. Okay, give all of that up. Okay, which hereforth may only pass through his hands as steward. But he must give up his inner wealth as well. Oh, You got to give up your state of mind. You got to give up the state of mind, the success and achievement-oriented state of mind. Okay? That self-image where you see yourself as the creator of your own world, connotatively a God. You need to give that up and see yourself as a servant. In law, we say, you need to give up your creditor status and mindset, your sovereignty, and accept being the debtor. You're going to carry the water and carry the bag. If there's a creditor, there has to be a debtor. You're going to carry the water for those people who traded places with you. You're going to be their lackey, their servant, their slave, bondman, bondwoman. And you're going to do it willingly, thinking you're doing something for some external God that's going to do better for you in your life. What an idiot I was. How about you? How about you? I was an idiot to do that. How about you? I changed. I'm harmonizing with nature now. I'm not in the New Testament or any religion. How about you? I'm in my right mind. I'm a creditor. I'm sovereign. I'm the rightful heir and I know it. My mindset is that of success and achievement. And a generous giver who has empathy for other people. I enjoy helping other people. Now, I'm not boasting. I'm making a contrast between the mindset of a man who's in the position where he's made a decision to follow all of the Most High's commandments, to receive the blessings, those tangible gifts, in contrast to that person's mindset that I used to have. Okay? The debtor, doubter, woe is me, mindset of the curses. Anyway, let's move on. I'm done with that. This says, pass through his hands as steward. Steward. What is a steward? Does the steward hold liability, y'all? Does the steward hold liability? The wealth is passing through your hands as the steward. What is the steward in law? Okay? But this spiritual person, if you want to be a Christian, a good one, you have to give up. Okay, so Tony writes, where are you? Vietnam. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so he has to give up his inner wealth as well. Inner wealth, that's your status, your nationality, y'all. Y'all see it? Your mindset. As far as he holds it as his own against the narrow gateway. Y'all see that? You need to give up your nationality to get in through the narrow gate. You have to become what? Universal. Right? That's religion. Everybody can join the religion. Such has ever been a condition for initiation. Y'all hear that? Such has ever been a condition for initiation. And poverty, obedience, chastity has been the vow of the candidate. Page 39. Let me repeat that. Let me repeat that, y'all. Such has ever been a condition for initiation and poverty. So give up your nationality. Take an oath of poverty. Obedience to anything that these various religious leaders want you to believe and do. Chastity, follow their moral ethical standards, what they present out front and what they do behind closed doors, right? Depending on what stage you are in the initiation. What else? Okay? Has been the vow. So you need to take a vow. Now y'all, what is a vow in law? Y'all go study vows in the Strong's lexicon or the Strong's concordance. Go research what vows are. Okay, go research what a vow is. Okay, be careful when you take a vow. We are talking law, y'all. This is not religion. This is law. Science is law. Okay? When somebody tries to pull you outside of law, outside of science, they're dragging you into religion. Law is pervasive everywhere. Science functions on law. Okay? No law, no science. Period. Science is merely the observation of natural phenomena or any phenomena. You observe it. So these phenomena are occurring due to law, nature's law. Y'all see it? Okay. Let's move on. Page 153. Let me repeat it again. Anything outside of law, you better beware. Law, I'm talking about natural law. Okay? Some of y'all might want to go back and study the Kabbalion. Study Volany's ruins. The link to that is in the free PDF of this video. Anything outside of this is religion. Okay, and you're trapped. Next page, 153. That is to say, when you read these texts, you must read it with a law dictionary. A good one or a few good ones, not a few, many good ones. The spiritual message of Libra, then, is not just that we should strive for harmony in our social relations. Y'all got that? The spiritual message of Libra is more than just having harmony in your relations with other people. Getting along with other people, right? The harder and the higher call of this sign bids us leave everything. What? Leave everything. Okay, that's a violation of law. You cannot leave your inheritance. Why? Because you're responsible to pass it to the next generation, your youngins, your siblings if you don't have any, etc. Your husband, your wife, your mother, your father, okay? That is clearly going against natural law. Exodus chapter 20, verse 12 says, honor your father and your mother, so that it may go well with you in the land that the Most High is giving you. Y'all hear that? Okay. You have to leave your husband or your wife. Now earlier in the chapter, they talked about leaving your husband, leaving your wife for any old reason, right? For, sex or whatever type of ridiculous reason you can think of, including sex. You can just leave her. They were saying that's wrong. But now they're saying it's right to leave your wife to go chase after the Christ. Leave her. Or leave him. So are they saying you divorce or you stay together and leave? Okay, let's say you stay together, but you leave. Well, is that going to have a good impact on your youngins? Are they going to grow up healthy? Is that going to make a way for the colonists, Paleolithic hybrids to come into your house and kidnap you? If you're a black or African American or any of these other brands, it's not kidnapping, okay? You signed everything away. They come in and arrest you. If you're in your proper status, it's kidnapping. And you can fight that and be successful if you know how, if you're willing to learn. So here we see another contradiction. It's okay for you to leave that woman that you call a wife or your consort to go follow after the Christ to get a great big bag of nothing and to get yourself put in bondage, cursed. It's okay to give up your land, which you're obligated to pass down to your kinfolk, your seed. All right, y'all see the contradictions here? Just to go follow after the Christ. Okay, so you got to give up your business too. This is Mark chapter 10, verse 29. In order, so here's the purpose, in order that we may enter into a newer, nobler relationship with all things and all people. Well, my thing is this, prove it. Show me where this has been done, and it has been done successfully, repeatedly. Show me that. I'm not talking about anything else, but I want to see where this has been done successfully. Where's your evidence? Otherwise, this is just sweet talk. The harder and the higher call of Libra, that's the call of justice, the call of balance, right? Bids us or requires us to leave everything. Husband, wife, mother, father. These are all of your highest obligations and duties. Right? To each other, the people who are supposed to be closest to you. For no reason other than they have a different doctrine. Do you see the genocide? Your land, businesses, in order that we may enter into a newer, what's the meaning of newer here? Nobler, what is the meaning of nobler? Relationship with all things. Why do I need a newer relationship and a nobler relationship with all things? You're talking about a horse and a cow, a sheep and a goat, a chair and a bench, a light pole, the sun, the moon. What are you talking about here? A newer, nobler relationship? What does that mean? Why didn't you define it? And all people. Okay, some people I don't want anything to do with. Some people we cannot have a new relationship. Why? Because I know you. I know who you are and I know what you've done. Some of you are dirty, rotten, low down, lower self, rotten to the bone. Maybe you're hybrids. I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want a new relationship with you. Bye, I'm not coming back. You can say you changed. Okay, if you changed, good for you. Now you stay right on over there. Okay? Stay right on over there. Don't come back around here. You're not welcome, period. All right? I don't want to see nothing bad happen to you, but I don't want you next to me. I know you. And if things get bad, people usually revert back to who they were. Okay? Until they've gone through enough turmoil, enough pain, suffering, Agony and defeat, misery, failure. So they've gone through enough of that where they've decided that they don't want to be that way again, and they learn from those mistakes, and then they're a new person, and that often takes decades. All right? Let's continue. In such a relationship, we participate in the world's redemption. Oh, wow. Okay? In such a relationship, we participate in the world's redemption by suffering. Again, a direct conflict with Moses' words, recorded as the Mosaic covenant, the law, the blessings and the curses. No. We don't get redemption through suffering. We get redemption, restoration, reclamation of our property by following the Most High's commandments, which is simply following natural law. Failure to do so leads to suffering, punishment, poverty, loss of status. All of that leads to the curses. Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68. Y'all see it? You go back and read the contract and read the commandments. All right, y'all? In such a relationship, it sounds so flowery, right? You're getting something new, better than what you were born with. It's more shiny. Look how shiny this is. Look at how it sparkles. It's better than what you got. It's new. You have some new relationships. Look at that. It's so shiny. Treat you like a child. Because they put you in a child's state of mind through their indoctrination system. Y'all call education. In such a relationship, we participate in the world's redemption. Okay, so now they've got you thinking you're doing something good. You're doing something to help humanity, the world. Okay? And you are helping humanity, only not the humanity that you think humanity is. Humanity, Han Uman, human, half man, half monkey, the beast system. So yeah, you are helping them. It's just you're not helping yourself if you're a man or a woman. Genesis chapter 2. Okay? So they capture all of your energy and direct you toward hurting yourself voluntarily, thinking you're getting something shiny, sparkly, and new. Okay, and how are you going to do it? You're going to get it through suffering for the Christ. Now, it's noble for you to suffer with and on behalf of others, suffering with and on behalf of others, and so bringing into our daily waking life, quote, that sense of unity. Well, guess what? I can be wealthy and happy and living in an abundant life and still have a sense of unity. I don't need to be impoverished and suffer to have a sense of unity with others. Let's continue. And so bringing into our daily waking life, quote, that sense of unity with others which we experience in the higher realms of being. Well, I can experience unity with others being wealthy. In fact, being filthy wealthy. And it would be better being filthy wealthy than if you're filthy poor and suffering. It feels better, right? Nobody needs to tell you that. So that quote was taken from Basant, page 151. You see, all of this, y'all, is meant to twist your psyche, to be willing to give it all up that came to you free at birth, that is physical, tangible wealth, and to make you feel good about it. Do it voluntarily. In such a relationship, the paradox of the gospel is realized, and the spiritual reward far outweighs the material sacrifice. Well, I tell you this, that's a lie. The spiritual reward does not outweigh the material sacrifice, not even close. In fact, the spiritual reward is a big bag of nothing. Okay, it's chains. It used to be physical chains. Okay? And being in the field, sun up to sundown, or being chased off of your property by foreigners. Okay, that's your spiritual reward. Everything you have suffered at the hands of colonists in the Americas, that has been your spiritual reward for chasing after external deities. That's your spiritual reward. The black codes, Jim Crow, family courts, administrative law, denationalization, the 14th Amendment, being branded Negro, Black, Colored, Latino, Indian. Those are your spiritual rewards. Being escheated, public policy being used to oppress you, such as the black codes, being indoctrinated instead of educated, being taught that you are nothing, worthless, being taught, indoctrinated not to cooperate with one another, not to trust one another, turn each other in. This is your spiritual reward. The life and work of Mahatma Gandhi, born October 2nd, 1869, is almost a textbook example of Libra preoccupations. Now, y'all will note that Gandhi is known to be a traitor to his people. Now, that's not my words. Y'all can go find that. But people from India will tell you that in their writings. He was a traitor. That's right. He was on the British payroll. He betrayed his people. And as a reward for betraying his people, he was a sellout. His seed, his youngins, became rulers in India. A dynasty of Gandhi's children as rulers, his seed. Okay, y'all? So when you see that name, Mahatma Gandhi, you know that they're about to BS you. Okay, Gandhi trained as a lawyer, was obsessed with matters of justice. Okay, this sounds like Knights Templar stuff, right? And lived a life of such frugality that at his death in January 1948, his possessions, which were worth no more than a few pounds, do y'all believe that? Do y'all believe that? Maybe he was publicly poor, but privately very wealthy. Could be contained in a couple of plastic bags. Yeah, right, I'm stupid. Although a Hindu, he was a lover of the Gospels, and this potentially very rich man gave everything to the poor and followed Christ with a light heart. That's what he did publicly. But in his real life, behind closed doors, he was a traitor, a sellout. A traitor and a sellout. Now, that's not my words. You can find Indian people who write about, people from India who write about this. People from Hindustan who write about Gandhi and what he really was. Okay? He was a sellout. Look at the damage he did to his people. But yet he's put before the world as being an honorable man. Who is more dishonorable than somebody who betrays those people he claims to lead? His own bloodline, his own family. He betrayed them. You can't get no worse than that. Okay, page 153. The deacons of Libra. The deacons of Libra. So you'll remember from, now y'all see that this is the summer solstice, the winter solstice, and this is these are the equinoxes, spring and fall equinoxes, okay? So here's the cross, okay? So the deacons means constellations that are in the neighborhood of Libra. Deacons are constellations that are in the neighborhood of Libra. So let's go through these, y'all. Now, why is it important to know which constellations are in the neighborhood of Libra? By the way, if you are in a organization, a camp, an assembly, a church, and they're using titles like deacons, well, that's astrology. That's astrology. Deacons is astrology. Okay? What about elder? They're using titles like elders. Now, they may not know this, but elders, this is El. Okay? El. So in the religious context, y'all, in the religious context, the El is representing the deity or the El pantheon of deities. Elder. Y'all got that? Let's continue. So let's get into this. I don't know if this is what the author is getting at, but this looks like a constellation, and a constellation at both poles of the solstices, and constellations or deacons at both poles of the solstices, and deacons at both equinoxes, and a deacon right here. Y'all see that? Whichever equinox this is. But let's see. I don't know if that's the case, but let's see. And in fact, y'all, take a look at this. This is a 6-pointed star. Right there where my thumb is, that's a 6-pointed star. Okay? So the 6-pointed star, y'all tell me what y'all think. Is this a pyramid on top of an upside down pyramid? Y'all see that? But anyway, let's continue. So this figure is figure 19. Figure 19, the cross. Figure 19, the cross. Deacons are important. Knowing the deacons is important so that you can identify which zodiac sign it is, right? These are all markers to help you identify which zodiac sign it is. So I'm going to, rather than go through deacons right now, we're almost at 1 hour. So I'm going to end this video and I'm going to come back. Okay? I'm going to come back in a few minutes and we'll begin on deacons of Libra. So support my project to write the book of the law in Ancient Ibaryath, which some people call it Paleo Hebrew. Support that project. My Cash App and PayPal are in the description area of this video. Cash App is paypal.me/Zion Law School. The link is in the description area of the video. My Cash App is $DrYasapa. Check the description area of the video. Whatever is in the description area of the video, that's correct. Also, you can support if your heart moves you to do so. You can support by buying my books. I have Ancient Ibaryath books that I have written that are available, physical books. I'm asking that you buy them on my website, zionlawschool.org. Don't buy them on Amazon or any other online venue because they charge too much, okay? They charge way too much. I'm only selling it there because people want to see the books on Amazon, okay? Also, you can come to the Saturday class, 506 The Curses course. Everybody should come to that class, okay? And everybody should subscribe to the 101 Ancient Ibaryath course. Learn linguistics. Okay, there's no doctrine, there's no religion in this. It is language, linguistics. Okay? I don't deal with religion at all. All right? Islam to all the Moors and Shalom. Get what's yours, y'all. Get what's yours.